welcome to the MD Quilter Knits podcast. Today is Sunday, August the 23rd, and it is a beautiful summer day here on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. And I am Beth. I will be your host today, and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as MD Quilter. There's also a Ravelry group called the MD Quilter Knits podcast. You can follow me and like and subscribe and do all of those fun things. I really appreciate the interaction with all of you. And to any returning guests, thank you so much for coming back. To any new guests, thank you so much for giving me a try. This is a podcast where I share my love of knitting and all things fibery. So I have a few finished objects, I have some works in progress, and a little bit of stash enhancement. It has been a while since I last podcasted, so I'm not going to show you all of the stash enhancement because that would just be absolutely ridiculous, and I don't think we have time for all of that. So let's get to it. What have I finished? And it also goes along with what I'm wearing. I finished the Rattlesnake pullover. It's a tea design by Jamie Hoffman of Knitosophy. I knit this sweater out of less traveled yarn, and it's a DK weight sweater, colorwork yoke, and then just a plain body. So I used a variegated speckle for the body, and then 3 other colors for the yoke. This was a fun sweater to knit. I tested it for Jamie and had a great time doing it. Lots of fun, like Southwest patterns. The cactus are textured, so it's a nice seed stitch in that color work to give it a little bit more fun. It's a great fit, circular yoke, top down. And a little bit A-line as well. I'll pop in a picture of myself wearing it. So that you can see what it looks like full length, because I can't stand up from where I am right now. Everything's a little crowded around me. So, so this didn't take me much time at all to knit. And it was so much fun. I hope you all like it, and I hope you all go and give Jamie's patterns a try. I will be knitting another test knit for her coming up. The yarn is actually on the way to me. I ordered Leading Men Fiber Arts yarn in the soliloquy base. So it's a fingering weight colorwork sweater. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. So also I did finish my July Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. This is the Gold Coast colorway. The yarn is by Desert Vista Dyeworks. The base is Viso, as always. And I, as I've been doing all of 2020, did the heel toe do-si-do pattern by Kay Litton of the Crazy Sock Lady. And they came out really nicely. I love this colorway. It's super fun. And I look forward to when I can wear them. I'm also using my adjustable adjustable sock blockers from Wild Stitchers LLC. So, and these are adjustable. I am using the large size sock blocker because I have large feet. And then another finished object that I have here is I did a test knit for Tristan Molina of Dragon Horde Yarn. She has been doing a series of sweaters based on the book series. I believe it's a Court of Thorns and Roses book series. And this is the Summer Court Tank. I will pop in a picture of myself wearing it. But this is what it looks like. Part of it. Sorry. Technical difficulties. There is the lace chart with beads. And then it is a V-neck tank So it lays nicely in a V. And then it is designed to be an oversized tank, and this is oversized on me. Like I said, I will pop in a picture. I used Tristan's Beast fingering yarn. And this colorway is called Rattle the Stars. And I did alternate my skeins after I got past the lace chart. Alternated everything else. Yeah, so that was a nice fun knit for Tristan as well. The other finished object, I do not have it here. I did show a little sneak peek of it on the last podcast, but the pattern has now been released, so I can show the full sweater, and I'll show it actually with Damie of Magpie, a photo of her modeling it. And it is the Spark sweater. It's actually the Spark and the Spice cardigan sweaters kind of mashed together. I called it the Spicy Spark. It actually could be Sparky Spice. But I did kind of mash up the two patterns so that Damie was able to have all of the elements that she wanted within a single sweater. The yarn is Magpie Fibers Nest in the Natural Twilight for the main color. And then we used a combination of Spin Cycle in Mississippi Masala, and I think it's called Ready Steady. So yeah, and it came out beautifully. The pattern is by Andrea Mowry. It was originally designed to be her Rhinebeck sweater this year. And since Rhinebeck was canceled, they're doing a virtual knit along, and there will be a virtual Rhinebeck and all of that coming up in October. So that was a super fun knit as well. So that does it for my finished objects for this time. Let's move on to my works in progress. What am I working on right now? Well, as always, I am working on my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. So, living in my Hohe & Co. BA bag. This is from her original run in the, I think she calls it honey color. So I finished the first sock. It even has a heel. So this year I participated in Sock Week, that is sponsored by Nitty Natty, Natalie of the Love and Stitches podcast. And Nitty Natty on Instagram. She hosted a knit along and challenged to knit one sock during the Discovery Channel's Shark Week. So I knit this one sock and finished it. Yay! The colorway for my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks in August is the special summer sock camp colorway. And this was dyed and inspired by the colors of the Summer Sock Camp logo. And since August is the last week of Summer Sock Camp 2020, I decided this was the perfect yarn to use. So I just have to knit one more sock before the end of the month. It is only the 23rd. I have about 8 days. That's plenty of time for me to knit a sock. Plenty of time. Whoops. I also joined the Imagine Landscapes Nice to Gnome You knit along. It's the mystery gnome. The mystery has now been revealed, and I am still I'm on the clue where I'm getting ready to stuff my gnome. So this is the gnome's hat. Actually, it goes this way. Yeah, this year she did a marled gnome. So we worked with 4 colors and marled them. I still have a few more clues to go, but I will show you my yarns that I'm using. All of these are the Spotlight base. I had a mini set from Leading Men Fiber Arts. There's my colors. This one here, which is Vintage Sleigh Ride, that will be my beard color. And then this one I believe is Rubber Ducky, Double Your Pleasure, and I can't remember what this one is. It's not my Lip Gloss Be Poppin', but it's the other hot pink that they do. And my brain is just fried right now, and I can't remember what it is. These are living in a bag by Fate's Thread with a gnome riding a llama, and then gnomes on the back. I got this specifically to carry my gnomes. So that knit along ends at the end of this month as well, so I definitely want to finish that for the knit along. Another work in progress. This one you have seen, but I have made some headway on it. The needles, the tips are actually taken out now because I'm using them on another project. But this is my soundtrack sweater. I have finished all of the tracks. So I've finished all the color work. And all that's left is some increases and then to split for the sleeves. I love my colors. So I am using Rising Tide Fiber Company, which is, that's the logo. The bright pink is Azalea. And the speckle is called Dirty Deeds. Whoops, Dirty Deeds. And this is in the Calvert DK base, which is 100% superwash merino. Here's the cake, and then the bright pink cake. I apologize if it's blowing out some. But yep. And these are living in my Fringe Supply town bag. Oops. There's Fringe Supply Co. This is natural canvas with like a buttery yellow waxed canvas pocket. Sadly, Fringe Supply Co. It has gone out of business, so we can't get any more of their lovely bags, but I'm happy to have quite a few already myself. So take a little sip of my drink. This is a little bit of Crazy Sock Lady merch. Sorry, had things falling. My little tumbler. All right, next work in progress. I am doing a preview knit for Ysolda Teague. This sweater is coming out, I believe, in September. It's called the Abbey Hill sweater. And this is my yarn. You have seen it before. It is the Juniper Moon Patagonia. This is the seaweed colorway. And I have knit the body. All right, so this is blowing out some. It is definitely a deep, deep forest green. I can't actually get it to the good color. But I have finished all of the cabling, which is along the hemline. So this is the body section. It is a cropped sweater. And I have finished one of the sleeves. And I am currently working on the second sleeve. I finished about half of the increases for the second sleeve. And I use these light bulb stitch markers to mark my decrease rounds. And what I do is I use the same stitch markers, the system on the first sleeve, and then on the second sleeve I remove them from the first sleeve to show, or to mark the second sleeve, so that I know that I'm doing the exact same number of rounds. So my thought is I will finish this sleeve today and hopefully get everything connected to be able to do the yoke decreases during this week. And this is living in my Hide and Hammer 03 bag. It is a beautiful green waxed canvas with dark brown handles. It is not personalized, but I love these bags so very much. So that's what we have going on there. All right, so that is all of my current works in progress. That is what I am currently working on. And I do have a few more things that I want to get done this month, or started at least this month. But yeah, so let's move into what's coming up. I have upcoming test knitting news and sweater news. So I am going to be testing a sweater called the Everyday Marl, and it is by the knitting expat, who's Mina Phillip, and I am doing the pullover version of the sweater, and I decided to pull from stash for this. So I am a long time lover of Fresh from the Cauldron yarns. She was one of the first indie dyers that I ever found when I came back to knitting about 10, 11 years ago. And I also love the show Supernatural. So when Jen from Fresh from the Cauldron decided to do a Supernatural themed yarn collection, I had to jump on it. So these are, I am going to be using 10 skeins for this sweater. It is all fingering weight yarn, and they're all beautifully speckled. I'll take them out of the bag in a moment. And this is not the entire collection, but it's most of the collection. I do still have a few skeins in my stash, but this will all be held together and marled with each other, held double. So the bag that I'm using is my maker's bag by my diversity maker's bag by Nerdbird Makery, and I'll show you a little bit of what you see. It's the inclusive bag. All right, so let's take these yarns out. So I'm using the Schoodic sock base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and 460 yards to 100 grams. This color is Salt and Burn. I'm taking these out in no particular order. This is Driver Picks the Music, Shotgun Shuts His Cake Hole. Then we have Bitch Jerk. These are all references to the show. Moose and Squirrel. I also have a few skeins of this in Aran weight. This one is I Was Drunk, It Was Comic-Con. This one is Darkness. Then we have hashtag AKF. This one is KAZ2Y5. If you don't know, that is the license plate, the Kansas license plate of Baby the Impala. This one is Idjits. And then finally, we have Hey Ass Butt. All right. So those are all going to get marled together and to make a beautiful pullover top-down raglan sweater. I believe it's raglan. Haven't read the whole pattern yet. But that is going to be my next cast on. This is also going to be my first cast on for Nitty Natty's Fall Garment MAL make along. So I'm looking forward to casting that on very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. And then I will show you another upcoming cast on is going to be, I'm doing a test cardigan for Knit Boop, and she provided yarn support for me for this, and we chose Knit Picks City Tweed DK in the Cobalt colorway. So this is going to be a beautiful long cardigan. I believe there's, I don't want to say, because I'm not sure exactly what the patterning is. It does have patterning on it, but it is a single color, and we're doing it in the Knit Pick City Tweed DK. So I have that yarn to cast that on. That'll be cast on a little bit later. Excuse me. But that brings us into our acquisitions. So I attended Zombie Knit Apocalypse at Home retreat. You guys know that. I showed some of my goodies from that at on the last podcast. Some of those dye to order orders have come in. I have received all but 2 of my orders from that, and one of them I know has shipped. So I will show you what I have gotten over the last few weeks from Zombie Knit Apocalypse. Queen City Yarns offered us a nice discount, so I was placing an order for a sweater quantity and then saw this beautiful colorway that I just had to have. So I ordered in her No Da sock, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, in the Cheetos on the Couch colorway. Look at that gray with that Cheeto orange. How could I not order that? So at some point I want to get some really pretty orange yarn to pair with this, because I have 2 skeins of this to make some sort of a garment or shawl. Haven't decided what. So this is Queen City Yarns Cheetos on the Couch. And then the the sweater quantity that I ordered, I kept hearing everyone talk about her Biddleville DK, which is a 100% superwash merino DK. It's 115 grams, 250 yards. And as I was perusing her colorways, I fell in love with the rose gold colorway, which is this one. Look at that. And it's the Biddleville DK. And just look at that colorway. It's beautiful. So my initial thought is to knit the Yorkville sweater by Mina Phillip, the Knitting Expat. It's a beautiful textured sweater pattern. So I think this will be beautiful in that. So that's the plan for that one. And then let's see what else. I also got from Mitchell's Creations. She did, she was one of the dyers for the goodie bags. And this is one of the goodie bag colors. This is not the one that I received, but it's called Phoenix Rising. And I ordered this in DK weight, and then I ordered this matching skein called Shameless. And I am going to finally do Lavagna Patricella's DK weight brioche socks using these 2. Because I have been wanting a pair of DK weight socks for a while, just to keep up here in the yarn room in the wintertime, because sometimes my feet get chilly. Because when I'm in the room here, I do walk around barefoot. I have a rug in here, so my slippers I kick them off when I come in the room, and then sometimes while I'm sitting here knitting, my feet get chilly, so I'm going to have me some DK weight socks so that my feet don't get cold. So I'm looking forward to casting those ones sometime soon. All right, so that's everything from the Zombie Knit Apocalypse. Next, when I knit the Spark and the Spice sweater, I fell in love with using Nest and Spin Cycle Dyed in the Wool together, or not Dyed in the Wool, Dream State together. So I had to get my own Nest or Spark sweater quantity. So the first thing I did was I found this gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous Dream State which is in the Verba Volant colorway. Lots of soft pinks and yellows and peaches and purples. It's just amazing. And then I cashed in some of my sample knitting credit from Magpie to get nest worsted in the Twilight Beaver colorway. Look at those. Aren't they going to be gorgeous together? So this will be cast on hopefully soon. The plan is for this to be one of my Rhinebeck sweaters. One of my virtual Rhinebeck sweaters. Because of course we're not going to be having Rhinebeck, so hopefully I'll still be able to do this sweater for virtual Rhinebeck. All right, and then while we're on Spin Cycle, Do You Knit? They commissioned a special colorway from Spin Cycle, and it's called Unicorn. E-W-E, unicorn. And I think everybody knows my love of unicorns. So I had to get me some. So this is Unicorn. Look at that. So I don't know what this is going to be yet. I'm toying with the idea of using it in a throw-over sweater, but I haven't completely decided yet. But yeah, I just had to get this because it's gorgeous. All right, and then good old Kemper from Junk Yarn decided to do a series of summer colorways, mystery colorways that were inspired by Sweet Valley High, which growing up, Sweet Valley High was kind of my literature of choice. So I think I've read every Sweet Valley High book. So when I saw that pop up, I was like, well, I gotta have that. So these are the 3. Look at those. Look at the speckles. And then these special progress keepers that are also inspired by the book covers. So first one is a Double Love, which I believe was the first Sweet Valley High book. Those speckles. And then we have a 2-boy weekend with these turquoise and peach and orange speckles. Oh. And then, Are We in Love? Absolutely stunning. So I don't know what these are going to be yet, but I'm thinking they might need to be in something fade-ish that fades down to something tonal, like a kind of a pastel-y tonal. I can't even. They are just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. All right. And then we have self-striping. So Area 51, they are a Canadian self-striping dyer. I think she does other things than self-striping, but that's what I tend to buy from her, is self-striping. So she has the most fun colorways. I could not resist Drunk Unicorn. Look at that. Oh. And I got my July Gilmore Girls Yarn Club, which is the Summer is Coming colorway. And this is self-striping. And then it has the contrasting color for the heels and toes. I have the August colorway coming as well, so looking forward to that. I just got notification that it shipped. So super excited. And then Woolens and Nosh, they did a an online festival, and this was the colorway that they did for it, called Must Love. I saw it on Instagram and just fell in love. And this is a sport weight yarn it's 90% superwash targhee and 10% nylon. And it is really plump and squishy, and I love targhee. So I'm looking forward to knitting these up for myself at sometime pretty soon. I love a good sport weight sock. Then we're almost done. Then we have the Cozy Knitter. So Cozy Knitter does an Advent sock yarn every year, and it's a self-striping with different stripes on it, and you know, just knit that a couple stripes a day during Advent. That's how I do it. So I wanted to order that, and when I went to the site right before the self-striping pre-order went live, I saw these two yarns and just I couldn't leave them be. So this is Golden Hour, and this has, you might not be, yeah, you can see it there. You see the speckles in that blue stripe? There you go, there's some. It just really caught my eye. And when it's knit up, it's absolutely stunning. And then I live in Maryland, and I didn't realize that Marylanders are a lot more proud of their flag than some other states. And I guess I'm one of those Marylanders that loves the flag. So our flag is red and white and black and gold. And this is called Fired Up, but it is so Maryland flag, it's not even funny. So I had to order it. I just had to get it because I love this color combo. It's going to be so much fun to knit up. All right, so we have one more yarn. And it's from Shirley Bryan. And this is their Sync sock set, which gives you a 50-gram skein and then a 20-gram mini. I love their logo, the dinosaur knitting, and you'll see it in a minute a little bit better. But this colorway is called Too Early for Wine. And of course, it's never too early for wine. I was kind of disappointed because she has a colorway called Pour Yourself a Cup of Ambition, which is a line from the song 9 to 5. And the movie 9 to 5 is one of my all-time favorites. So I'm going to have to keep an eye and see when that comes back in stock because I really need that colorway. Yeah, so this is a self-striping sock yarn and coordinating mini. So while I was on the site, I also had to order one of her project bags because it has that absolutely adorable knitting dinosaur. Look at that. At first I thought that the dinosaur was a T-Rex, but now I think it's a Velociraptor. It's okay. Either way, it's absolutely adorable. So I have a couple more bags, not too many. Tanny Casey, she posted on Instagram that she was going to do some patchwork bags. And anybody that knows me knows my love of pink. So when she posted this bag, how could I resist? So it's pink canvas on the back and the bottom. Has this nice little leather strap. As always, on the inside, we have just the plain canvas with her logo or her label in it, but it's just plain natural canvas. And then these beautiful patchwork quilted fabrics. And this is a fabulous sweater size bag. So one of these sweaters that's going to be cast on will live in that bag. Then I also picked up this 65 South bag. It's just a little, it's an adorable little kind of buckety tote. Just a nice little something to keep things in. But I love the bugs on it. I don't know why. Happy insect life. Then this one says fly away home. It's just so cute. It just caught my eye. It's a dangerous thing when things catch my eye. Okay, and the last one, Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady podcast, she enables me a lot. And she enabled me right into this bag from Mountain State Stitches. And this is a nice padded bag. It has a nice canvas bottom and top here. Webbing for a handle. Drawstring and then polka dots on the inside. And some pockets on the inside. And it's a drawstring. So it'll close up nicely. It'll be a nice bag, and I love the print. Just a fun little whimsical print. So that's all of my stash enhancements. Not so bad. That's not all of them. Let's be real here. But I am trying to not make any purchases. I'm taking it like 2 weeks at a time. I'm trying to slow down because I really want to use up some of my stash. And, you know, people are generous enough to provide me yarn support when I'm testing the larger size sweaters. And I so appreciate that. And I just feel like I need to be using my stash a little bit more for the projects that I want to do just for me. So, plus I'm running out of room in the sweater stash cabinet. Not cabinet, cubes, the wall unit. I just don't have anywhere to put any more yarn. So I need to be using up my yarn. So that's my goal. Is to, right now, let's not buy anything for the rest of the month of August. And then sorry about that. I am back, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about some goals that I have for August. So my August goals are to finish my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. Super easy thing that I'm going to be able to do. I have one finished already, and just doing a second one in a week is not a problem at all. My next goal was to finish my Rattlesnake sweater, and I have done that. So that's one checked off the list. Also to finish my Summer Court tank, and that is also finished. The Ysolda preview knit for Abbey Hill, that is well on its way to being finished. And then my Gnome mystery knit along, I wanted to finish that as well, and I think I'll be able to get that done by the end of the month. So the only other things that I wanted to do is to start a pair of socks for my husband, which I actually have started. I just don't have them up here with me, so I will pop in a picture of them. They are on the needles, and I'm using Kirby Werby's yarn. It's a self-striping, and it's called Messin' with Sasquatch. I think I have shown the yarn here on the podcast before, and it'll be a great pair of socks for him. And then I also want to start the Everlasting socks, and this is a knit along that the Zombie Knitting Network is hosting, and that is hosted through the end of September. So hopefully I'll be able to finish those. It is knitting a pair of socks using Lisa Ross, who is Paper Daisy Creations, her Everlasting sock pattern, which is inspired by Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So those are my goals for the rest of August. So hopefully I will be able to complete all of those. Yeah, so sorry that this got broken up a little bit. My phone decided that it was out of memory, so I have had to switch over to my iPad to finish the recording, and I have done a few things in the meantime, so that's where the wardrobe change came from. And yeah, so Thank you so much for coming by. I look forward to seeing you again the next time I am able to put up another podcast. So come back again and see what MD Quilter knits next. Bye-bye.